Hey everyone, it's Nicole. Welcome back to my channel, Relax.Cut.Glue. If you're new here, welcome. I am so happy to have you all here with me today. So today I'm going to make a masterboard. I actually want to make a few of them because I think I might cut these up to make like a small cinch glue book. So what I have here is a little paper pad I got for $1.25 on sale at Joann's. It's just one of those little tiny, like in their dollar bins. It's 6 by 6 and you get 12 sheets and you get 6 images, 2 of each. And then these are some Dollar Tree 6 by 6. Am I seeing spots or does this? No, there's some blue color on here. There's a little misprint. Anyways, these are some Dollar Tree ones I thought might go with this. And then I'm using a piece of craft cardstock just from Michael's, and it's 8.5 by 11. I believe these are 65-pound cardstock. So before I get into how I want to do this masterboard, because I'm doing it differently kind of than I normally do. Yesterday I did a video, and I did a video on my glue book here that I've been working on. It's a beast. It is a composition notebook, and it's a lot of fun. Anyways, I asked you guys in my video how much you thought this weighed, and then I asked Bob, Jackson, and Andrew, and they were each in separate rooms of the house when I asked them. So I asked Bob, and he said 7 pounds. Andrew said 7 pounds, which was so weird to me that they both said 7, completely different parts of the house when I asked them. Jackson picked 5, and I picked 2.7. Only one person in my comments section got it exact, so I'm going to plop that up here on the screen in just a second here, and I will show you who won. Okay, it turns out it was one of my glue crew members, and it's one of these glue crew members that is on the screen right now, and they nailed it right on the head. They got it exactly right. So without further ado, the winner is Miss Tina. She is the winner. Tina, email me at relaxcutglue@gmail.com and give me your address. I want to send you a postcard and a Relax Cut Glue sticker. That is if you want it. If you don't want it, don't worry about emailing me and I won't be offended. So here's my little paper pad, just a little one from Joann's, and you have 6 prints, 2 of each. So I'm going to do one set of them doing a horizontal masterboard and another strip doing a vertical masterboard. I learned a lot doing this. Yes, I do something similar to this when I do my like masterboard videos. I cut my papers up into strips, or when I do grid gluing and stuff like that, but I usually do squares and strips and stuff like that. So this one I just did 1 by 6 strips. And I cut my paper accordingly. So the first papers I cut obviously horizontally 1 by 6, and the other ones I cut vertically 1 by 6. And I decided that in the end, I like the way the horizontal strips look better, but the vertical ones don't look bad at all. But I would probably lay the papers down a little bit differently. So what I did on my cardstock is I did a little grid. I showed you there a second ago, where I split the paper into 4s because I'm going to be making a little glue book with this color palette, and I'm going to use my cinch, and each of the papers are going to be no bigger than 4 1/4 by 5.5. So that's why I'm doing this. So basically I'm making one masterboard and cutting it into 4 tiny masterboards. Now I considered just making tiny masterboards, but I thought this would be fun. And I think if I do any more for my book or any other upcoming book, I'll probably do them individually instead and just make mini ones. But this was really fun. And, you know, like I said, I'm just using 8.5 by 11 cardstock from Michael's. It's 65 pound, nothing fancy. You could use whatever you wanted. You do not have to use cardstock. You could use cardboard, like the box from a cereal, empty cereal box. You could cut that up. You could use 12 by 12 paper. You could make your own by gluing papers together. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I just wanted a little bit firmer surface for mine. And then on the back of mine, I'm going to leave blank because then I can just collage some papers on there. Originally, I was going to make these double-sided masterboards, But I changed my mind. I didn't want the masterboards to be right next to each other. How many times can I say the word masterboard? And listen, one of you little smarty pants, don't be but I can't even say. I was going to say, one of you little smarty pants is probably going to count every single one I say and then put it in the comments. Probably one of my glue crew members. You guys all have that personality and I love it. So yeah, this was a really fun little experiment. I definitely like the strip gluing for sure. I would definitely do it again. But I think I like the way that I normally do it a little bit better. But I wanted to try this. I think it was really fun. Now these ones right here are a little bit bigger. So they are like 1.5 or 1.25 by 6. So I did have to make some adjustments with them. It kind of threw everything off a little bit. So I didn't end up using them in my vertical one, spoiler alert, because it just didn't work right. I would do it differently now, knowing how they all fit on there. But yeah, I think that's why I like the horizontal way better, because everything just fit better that way. But you know, whatevs. It might have been easier if I did like a 12 by 12, but I really wanted to use this paper because my book is going to be this size. So it just worked for me. Oh, it's already looking so cute. And these papers look like that pink looks a little brighter on camera than it's a little bit more muted in person. So I would call these like borderline maybe vibrant pastels, if that makes sense. Like they're not so light, but they're light. They're still pastels in my opinion, especially if you saw them in person. So I love this color palette. And I want to add some navy blue papers in here. So basically it's going to be like pink, peach, green, blues, navy blue, maybe a little bit of orange, like that kind of stuff. Kind of spring colors, really, to be honest, even though it's winter. But I'm really vibing with this. And Keely O'Brien had a book come out. It was called Crafty Butterflies and Bugs. And then another one, Crafty... Oh, I just had it. Where is it? Oh, it's right here. Crafty Quilted Woodland Scenes, but it's all crafty. So what I mean by that, and what she means by the title, is the pictures are done. They look like they're embroidered or quilted, and they're really cute. So if you remember, a little while back, I did in my Masterboard glue book, I did that layout with these same papers, and I used some of her butterflies and stuff from her book, the quilted or the crafty butterflies and bugs. So I kind of want to go that route again. And I'll go through all my cut and collage books and find, flowers and leaves and just, all that kind of stuff. Things that match the color palette, basically. So thank you guys so much for, wishing Bob a good day at work yesterday. He did end up leaving at noon like he promised he was going to do. I'm really glad he made it to noon. That was a bonus. Unfortunately, he came home with a massive migraine. It was really bad. This happened every single time after he's gone back to work after surgery. He gets really bad migraines. For a few days, like seeing spots, that kind of stuff, like bad. He has to go in our room where it's very dark and stuff like that. So I felt really bad. He didn't even eat, which is not good. And he's so skinny already, So he says this morning when I talked to him that he was feeling a lot better. He has like a migraine hangover. Otherwise, he's feeling okay. So I hope when he comes home today, he's feeling all right. But yeah, poor guy. Migraines are no fun, that is for sure. So I'm cutting the strips off the edge as I go because I'm using them for the little pieces that I need, like on the edges or whatnot. And if I have any glue on those pieces, you'll see kind of at the top of the screen there, I flip them upside down so that glue can dry a little bit. And then I'll use them again because I don't want to like waste my papers. Do you know what I mean? So that's kind of what I'm doing there. I do that all the time when I make masterboards. I always if the piece is big enough that I cut off, I just set it up top so that I can use it again. Whoa, did you hear my stomach? That was so loud. Excusez-moi. My stomach just came alive. It's garbage day today because they didn't pick up yesterday because of the holiday. But you know what? Okay, so our garbage day was the same day for 20 years. Yada, yada. It just switched. Here it comes. It's so loud. But our garbage man and or our recycling, I can't remember. I'm looking out at my neighbors to see if I can see his. Okay, definitely the recycling today. Whoever it is, I don't know if they have a new person or a new route or whatever, but they leave our garbage cans like in the street instead of like we all keep ours up at the curb, right? They're like 3 feet in the street or right in front of my driveway, so we can't pull in or out. They move them like it seems like on purpose, but I'm pretty sure, 99% sure the guy's not doing it on purpose. Maybe he's new. I don't know what it is, but how he moves my garbage can so far over when the truck picks it up itself, dumps it, and then puts it back, right? Like the garbage men don't put the garbage can. Anyways, I don't know. It's so weird. So I'm watching him right now. I want to see. Oh, I can't really see. I was trying to look, but I can't. I'm trying to be nosy. Okay, move along. Such a Karen. I don't know what he's doing. He's like sitting in front of my neighbor's house right now. Okay, so here we go. Now we're working on the vertical. So here's all my vertical strips. Now this one was more challenging. So the reason why I put the grid here, I don't honestly remember if I told you guys or not. I'm so sorry. I did that because, like I said, my pages are going to be 4 1/4-ish by, or no larger than 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So I put that little grid there so I can see where those strips are going to land. I don't want like 1/8 of an inch of a strip on the edge of one of my cards. You know what I'm saying? So by doing that, I can see where the lines are and where I'm going to be cutting. So that's why I moved that first strip down a little bit, because I didn't want just 1/4 of an inch hanging on the bottom card that I'm going to be cutting apart. So that's something to think about. I don't know. If it doesn't bother you, don't worry about it. We all craft differently, so you're not doing it wrong. I'm not doing it wrong. It's all personal preference, so you're totally fine. I just really, really hate it when there's just a tiny sliver of paper on the edge. It drives me freaking bananas. So if I had known in the end or in the beginning what I knew at the end, I wouldn't have worried about it, because I ended up trimming my papers. Some of them are 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, but some are a little bit smaller, and I'm fine with that because I'm doing like a cinch glue book. And so, you know, the papers, as long as they're not larger than 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, I'm fine. If they're smaller, totally cool, because they'll still fit in the glue book just fine. So yeah, again, with the vertical one here, I think I probably would have started, well, I was going to say more in the middle. If I was doing this, my regular style where I do rectangles, squares, and strips, I would start in the middle and work my way out. But, oh my gosh, did you just hear Sherman? I thought he was throwing up. He was like yawning or something. Oh, I have both the kids in here with me today. I have Miss Zena and I have Mr. Sherm. They like to be with me when I'm in here in the mornings, as you guys know. Sherman, I was originally talking in this video, but there was so much going on. This happens all the time. It's kind of the hard part about working from home. There's just so many distractions. Amazon delivery, garbage trucks, the dog needing to go to the bathroom. Sherman just busts through the gate and comes right in. So it's just like I'm constantly like getting distracted and stuff. So that's why I'm doing a voiceover today. And I wanted to speed it up a little bit because I wanted to show both masterboards. So there's that. Can you believe, okay, were you shocked by the 2.4 pounds that my book weighed, or did you think that was about right? I thought it was going to weigh more, to be honest. I picked 2.7, so pretty proud of myself. I was very close, and there were so many of you that were so close. So close. So we'll do it again here in a little bit. Maybe when my book is done, remind me if I forget, because you guys know my fibro fog, I'm always forgetting. Remind me and we'll weigh it again and see how much it weighs in the end. I'm going to guess it's probably going to weigh, well, I don't have half of it left. I wanted to say 5 pounds, but I have less than half to glue. So I don't know. We'll have to see. It'll be interesting. If it's 2.4 pounds now, if it ends up weighing 5 pounds, then that means that I went crazy the last little bit, that I was just adding all kinds of stuff. Because I don't see how it could weigh. I don't know. It'll be interesting. It will be interesting. I also okay, so I get asked quite a bit how many different patterns or colors that I use when I make my masterboards, and it depends. I've been really into 6x6 paper pads lately. Love them. I don't know what it is. Maybe because it's inexpensive. I just like the size, especially for masterboards. They're my favorite to cut up. You don't get too many leftovers. Yeah, I just love it. I love 6x6. So, and the prints are usually smaller because it's smaller paper, if that makes sense. So, I usually use, if I have a 6x6, I'll pick about 6 to 8 different colors, patterns, things like that. But if they all go together, I'll use as many as I want. You know what I mean? This was a little hard for me, and I talked about this in the video when I was talking, but when I do masterboards like this, where I have this color palette where they all go together, and I have limited, like, what did I have? Like 8 or 9 different, yeah, so I guess I would say 6 to 10 different color palettes is what I do, or designs. I'm always looking ahead when I do my masterboards. So I cut a lot of that out of me just kind of sitting there. But when I'm putting this piece of paper down right here, I'm looking around and thinking ahead at the same time, because I don't want to end up putting 2 pink polka dots next to each other, or, you know what I mean? And sometimes, because this palette was a little different for me, because 2 of the patterns in this paper pad are very similar. So I get confused by the 2 all the time. And because they look so similar, it kind of looks like I'm using the same one over and over. And then, you know, the blue piece is so different from the other 3 patterns, and I don't know. So sometimes it's easier than others, but I do not like it if there's too much of the same thing next to each other. And then with this, because I'm cutting it into 4 pieces, I was really paying attention to each little section, like what was in it. And, you know, sometimes I was forced to add a lot of like polka dots or a lot of something, because it was the only other color I had to go there. But normally I wouldn't put my polka dots next to each other. But it not that it looks bad or anything like that. Not by any means. It's just how my brain works. And I guess I'm telling you this so that you know that we all craft differently. And, you know, I just like to share my process and how I do it, and why you see me doing what I'm doing is I really look ahead as to what I'm going to put where, and looking around and making sure that it's very even and cohesive throughout the whole masterboard. I hope that makes sense. But I also want you to know that you absolutely, without a doubt, do not have to do it like I do it. And please do not ever feel like you're doing it wrong because you're doing it differently than me. I do see people that make comments like that, and that is not the case. You guys, we are all so different. We all like different things. I have so many people that hate the color pink that watch my channel, and I use it all the time. I'm not a fan of purple. You know what I mean? So we're all different. Some people like to craft very messily. That's how they like to do their art. That's what makes them feel good in the moment. I do not like mess. So it's fine. We can all craft differently. You know what I mean? I just want to put that out there, because I don't want people feeling, being too hard on themselves if something doesn't look the way that they think it should look. I want them to just enjoy the process in the moment and like it for how you do it. You know what I mean? So I don't know where that's coming from. I don't want people to feel bad if it doesn't look a certain way, you know? We will. We're crafters. It happens. You know, a lot of us are perfectionists and want it a certain way. And I'm really working hard this year on going with the flow, easing up a bit on my perfectionism. I'm not going to give it up because that is who I am, and it's how I craft and how I prefer to craft. But I'm going to ease up on myself a little bit and not worry about being so perfect. So here are my two masterboards. I have my horizontal and my vertical, and I'm going to go shut my blinds and cut them up. Here we are. So like I said, they're not all exactly the same size. They are just, some are a little bit smaller. And yeah, they looked really good, and I rounded the corners, and I'm super happy with the way that they turned out. Absolutely love them. And, you know, next time I do this, I think I'll try making mini masterboards and make 8 mini ones instead. But I do like the way they turned out. That's going to conclude today's video. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you guys have a fabulous weekend. Don't forget to drink your water, and I will see you guys tomorrow for a Happy Mail video. Bye, friends.